In the Mending Fences cowl, you are working with 3 colors. Here I have my color just used, which is my darker blue. In the middle, you'll see the color that I'm about to use, which is my white. And on the bottom, you'll see the color that I'm going to be carrying up, which is my light blue. So when you're carrying up the side here inside of the selvage stitch, you're going to want to create just a nice, easy carry up of the yarn that is the non-working yarn. And you don't have to do anything fancy here. You just want it to be flat and have the tension that allows you to block later so that you're not pulling it tight as you go and you're not leaving it totally loose as you go. You just want this nice edge along here where you can see the selvage stitch and you're carrying the yarn up on the inside. So there are a few different ways to do this. I'm going to show you what I think is the easiest one if you're looking for guidance. Now again, I have just worked with this dark blue color. So I'm going to take the yarn that I just worked with and lay that atop of everything else. So I'm just gonna set that down and I'm going to, out of the camera, move the ball so that it's not tangling. Now I'm left with how these naturally fall in the color, in the order that they were used, which is that next I see my white yarn, and underneath that, used the furthest back is my light blue yarn. So I'm going to use my white yarn next. What do I want to do with this light blue yarn? Well, I want to just gently carry it up the inside so that it's moving along with the rows, and I won't be going from the last place I used it to the next place I used it without actually doing that carrying up the side. So I'm going to take my white yarn, which is about to be my working yarn. I'm going to go on top of the blue yarn. It's very, very subtle in the back, but you're going to be on top of the blue yarn that you're carrying. And now I'm going to take this working yarn, and do you see here? There's no big twist. It's just going to carry that yarn on the inside. So see, much like catching a float would be, I'm just carrying that light blue yarn up on the inside. On the back, again, it doesn't look like much. And then to knit with my white yarn here, which is my background color that I'm using in the chart for the chart for Mending Fences, I'm using on rows 3 and 4, 7 and 8, 11 and 12, 15 and 16. And so while we're here, we'll just go ahead and demonstrate that. First selvage is slip as if to knit. And then, as with every row of the background color, I'm knitting a stockinette background. So on the right side, that's 3 knit stitches, followed by a slip stitch. And so that is all there is to carrying the yarn up the side. And now, in terms of reading your knitting, you can see I've done my 3 knit stitches with a slip stitch, where I'm pulling up the elongated light blue here and pulling up the shorter dark blue here. And what you'll see is along the edge, that's just going to create this nice, tidy little carry.